I guess we're live. Wow. Woo-hoo.
Excellent.
All right, guys, welcome my pylons, my pros, my SCV. I always get it wrong, but it doesn't matter because
that's two Protoss and one Terran, and you were
drones?
just like, screw the Zerg.
Wings, something like that,
which is fine.
I'm a dirty Protoss,
Yeah.
so that's how it is. Guys, welcome to this special episode of Inside the Champ. This is like, it's live. We're physically in the same location.
Yeah.
So this is the post-game show where we mine for insights to make your StarCraft life better. But on this time, we're not actually doing like in-game stuff. Like we're exploring the arcade.
A game.
It is a game.
It is a game.
Yeah.
It's just not the game you're used to.
Right, absolutely. And I'm joined on my left first, my co-host, above the Undersword. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. You?
We're in person.
Yeah.
But our guest, special guest, Daniel Altman.
That's me. Yes.
The creator of ARK with a K.
ARK with a K.
And which is a premium mod available right now on the StarCraft 2, what is it called? Premium Arcade shop?
Yeah, it's a premium game on the StarCraft 2 arcade.
Yeah.
Okay. But is the shop like, is there like a premium shop like you would like Apple?
You click a button, right?
There's a premium tab.
There's two of them.
There's two.
There's only two games. So, yeah.
But they're both really good.
Is that, are you obligated to that?
No. I'm not obligated to say that. But it's true.
So you're in Toronto, which is super crazy convenient. And why don't we kind of start like what brings you here?
Oh, that's a pretty broad question. What brings any of us here? Reckon.
What brings you specifically in Toronto? Because like you've been jet setting around, and all of you are like San Francisco.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I've always traveled a bit. I've been living in Vancouver for the last 2 years, and then I moved to Toronto about 6 months ago. I actually went to university here, and so I moved back basically because I got bored of Vancouver and I had friends here.
Yeah, it's Vancouver's not very exciting.
Sounds right.
People from Toronto say that.
Yeah.
Vancouver's okay.
Toronto is like Canada. So,
sure.
If you come to Canada, like you just land in Toronto and then that's it. Like if you say, "Where's Drake playing?" They're like, "Oh, in Toronto, in Canada."
Right.
And there's nowhere else.
Sure.
I'm from Halifax, and I still.
Are you actually from Halifax?
Yeah, I'm from Halifax, but came to Toronto.
You're brave to admit.
But I like Toronto. But like anytime people are like, "Do you miss out there?" I'm like, I wish I could bring the people here, but I want to stay here.
Are they different?
Like there's more
Halifax people.
Well, they're nicer, obviously,
really?
but there's more stuff in Toronto.
Oh
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So, have you played ARK?
Yeah. So I've played a few hours of this at least. I got it on the day it came out. I didn't have any bugs, despite what you said.
There were some, but. I'm glad that was your experience.
Yeah. What was like the worst bug?
Basically, spamming any commands during combat would crash the game. Would not just crash my game, would crash StarCraft for like the first week.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it was less than ideal.
Like, are we talking about like the full game comes down, you can't load it back up?
You can, but you have to like log back into StarCraft and go through all that.
In fairness, a lot of things crash StarCraft. So you're not unique there. StarCraft crashes StarCraft.
Yeah, StarCraft's not very.
Yeah, joining a lobby crashes StarCraft. Like a lot of things do.
Being a barcode crashes StarCraft.
Exactly. But yeah, I didn't find any issues with that, and it's kind of and whatever you said, the things like that are fixed now anyway.
Yeah.
So
no bugs that I know about anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we just sort of like start in the beginning? How did you get, what's the story behind making ARK?
Sure. It's not a short story, but it is a simple story.
Right.
So pretty much every year, every couple of years, Blizzard runs this arcade contest where they have a big cash prize. They say modders, make the best game you can. Usually there'll be some rules or parameters to that contest. And I think the first one was in 2013 or 2014. Right? It was 2013. And I had recently graduated from university, and I was like, what should I do with my life? And I'd been making these StarCraft maps as a hobby because it's fun. You get to play around in game design, and I never really thought about like making games as a career.
Right.
And then there was this contest. And I was like, oh, I could do that because I'm pretty competitive as far as people go. And that first year in 2013, which I think I placed 8th. I was not happy with placing 8th because back then you didn't win money for placing 8th. So a few years.
You get money for placing 8th now?
You do now.
Okay.
Now it's like $200, I think.
Win some NA tournaments.
Yeah.
Hey man, modders.
Not bad. Not bad.
Modders take what they can get.
Yeah.
Then they had another contest in 2015 that I was more prepared for.
Right.
And I won it. I won first place. And that was pretty cool. And the money.
What did you enter? Like, what did you put in?
I entered a game called Dwarven Combat. It's about drunken dwarves that beat each other up.
That should have been a premium mod. I would have played that.
I thought about it. It would have. There was only like so much that could have been added to that game to make it better. Anyway, I wanted to make something brand new,
Sure.
some shiny. So after winning that contest, somebody from Blizzard reached out to me and was like, "Hey, we have this idea. If you wanted to make a premium game."
Oh, so they brought the whole premium thing.
Oh yeah, and they asked me, well, like, what would you want to make?
Wait, what year is this? 2015?
Yeah, so I think that was in like 2016 when this started, and hopefully this is something I'm even allowed to talk about. So, yeah.
The game's out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so from there, conversations were had, and it became a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so did you start ArkStar in 2016?
I started development in, I think, April of 2016. Yeah.
So it took 2 years to bring it to fruition, from idea to like full ready game.
Yeah, on and off. Yeah, 2 years.
By yourself?
By myself, except for, the art obviously came from Blizzard. I hired some contractors out to do that.
Oh, okay.
And the wonderful combat music was not me.
Oh.
Was like a real musician.
You didn't like pull out your piano?
I'm not one of those one man army developers. Okay. No.
So what's the total amount of people who worked on this?
Total. I should know that off the top of my head. I think like 5 or 6 people contributed in one way or another.
5 or 6. So there's like a person like Phantom comes in and comes out.
Yeah. Or just literally made one texture or one sound effect.
Oh.
There was a lot of patchwork pieces like that.
Is there like a pet? Do you have like a pet who cheered you on, just like a dog, or it's like no animal?
No.
No faithful rover.
No mascot. No ArkStar mascot.
Right. I don't know if this is true, but I read it. Did you work on the Axiom mod? I
did. Yeah, I was the lead developer of Axiom.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know how much you want to talk about that.
I don't mind.
It was interesting. It was really great to work with John Bain. He was driving a lot of the design behind that and had some interesting choices. And it was I did the development of that during ArkStar, and so it was nice kind of break to switch modes and work on something different because I was just so drilled down into ArkStar.
So you're doing both at the same time?
Yeah.
You must be a madman.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. So the Axiom one I also played as well when it came out, and it was a interesting change. I don't know if you ever tried that one.
I took a poke in it, but it was just a little hard.
It was actually that was almost my comment on it. Is it was intended to be like the easy mode StarCraft. It's actually almost the opposite. It was super macro crazy mode, but it did fulfill the goal of, if people want to get to the point that they're building carriers and battleships and stuff, you get there in 2 minutes.
Easy.
So that kind of made sense. But yeah, how did you find working on that? And did you feel there you were working with a team as opposed to just on your own vision? Was that different? Did you have any either disagreements on what to do, or did you have a different vision or whatever? Just saying.
Yeah, yes is the answer to that question, but it'd probably be best not to get into it.
Yeah.
Not with John. It's fine.
Yeah.
Was there any like good stories without you can protect the names of people so innocent? It's like
there were just some challenges during development. I mean, that's true of pretty much any team working together, especially when it's just a bunch of modders basically who had just happened to be in the same room at BlizzCon. Yeah. Anyway,
nice. Is that like how it came together? You guys were just in the same room at BlizzCon and
basically. So do you know Joey? Yeah. Joey.
Nice username.
Yeah. John was like, I want modders, and Joey was like, I know modders, and that's how that happened. It was just the modders who happened to be at BlizzCon.
Like this past BlizzCon?
No. It's 2016.
Wow, it's all happening at the same time.
Yeah. 2016 was a big year.
Wow, 2016 was like your year, the year of Daniel.
That 2016 was the year of Daniel doing a lot of work, like having no life.
You know what? Actually, I wonder if Tara, can you get us up the trailer? Let's go over the trailer. I'd love to get over the trailer. So let's see if Tara can give it to us. All right. So while he does that, did you have anyone like test like ARK Star ahead? Like, did you have like beta testers?
Yeah, I had a handful, maybe 10 to 20 friends, family, and just people I knew from the modding community who tested pretty much throughout the entire process. So yeah, there was a lot of testing going on.
When you say testing, did you like? Because when I think beta testing, I think like I play the game until it breaks. Did you tell them specifically like do this? Yeah. Like,
usually not, at least not until it was getting closer to launch.
Right.
And then I would give it to certain people and be like, okay, find what you can break. And that clearly could have gone better because we did launch with some pretty serious issues. But hey, it's a learning experience.
Pretty decent.
So let's take a look at the trailer. Hopefully it's gonna come up here too for us to see. I'd like it. Something's coming. All right.
What's gonna happen? I see arcades.
Oh, I see something.
Blurry arcades.
Blurry arcades.
Oh man.
Okay. I was thinking only we can see that. Clearly, the stream can see this too. Arcades into infinity.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Premium arcade. ARK Star. So did you do the trailer, or did you do the trailer?
No, I edited this myself.
Nice.
I've dabbled in video editing for a long time, so I love making game trailers.
So this has ended up. So when you were thinking of doing this story, like where did you get inspiration for the story for ARK Star?
I don't even know. I really liked. I mean, I like making RPGs, and I thought, okay, so Protoss are better for RPGs than Terran. Basically, because we have cool guys with swords on their hands.
Yeah, right.
That's a good start. And so I was thinking of what I can do with this game. I think has a lot of charm and humor. Some of the selling points, I think. So things you can do with Protoss, and I didn't want to take away or kind of change the core StarCraft story. So I came up with kind of a self-contained story that takes place after like the StarCraft campaign and doesn't touch it or affect it in any way, shape, or form.
Does it use any of the characters from the original campaign?
I think it kind of mentions a couple, but no, it doesn't really. You don't interact with Artanis or Raynor or anyone like that.
Yeah. All right. So in that case, then, like, did you? Oh, I'm gonna get like Lowoko playing on this on the street. Oh, it's only on there.
Yep.
Well, that's good. Yeah. When it comes to like the lore, did you are you a writer, or did you just get someone else to write that up for you?
Oh, I did the writing. I spent a lot of time having like a bunch of tabs on the like StarCraft Wikia open, like double checking like lore characters and like ones from like StarCraft art books, and like the year timeline for like what happened in 2045 in StarCraft and stuff like that, and like the Protoss dictionary. Like there's Yeah, I tried a lot.
So does that make you like a lore master right now? If I was to, like, to quiz you on like
No,
something?
not even a little bit. I did like
people.
the bare minimum so the game worked.
Yeah.
I'm by no means a master. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if I was to like say what planet was Kerrigan left on, you would say
Char? Oh, wait, no, left on.
Yeah,
oh,
left
no,
on.
that wasn't a planet. That was a space station.
Above what planet?
Oh, I don't know.
The answer is Tarsonis.
Was it?
Yeah.
New Gettysburg is the platform, right?
Yeah, that's what I would have said too.
There we go. I know things.
So what's the main story of ARK for nobody who knows what this is?
So the main story is that way after the StarCraft campaign, and there's peace in the galaxy, after Amon, who's the big threat, was defeated,
right.
this kind of rumor surfaces that Amon had this big secret weapon hidden somewhere in the galaxy that could destroy everything.
But he's destroyed at this point.
He's destroyed, but he left this failsafe that was still a threat, and it's out there somewhere, and no one knows anything about it. So Protoss sent a bunch of their really elite Templar out to go look for it, and you're playing as one group of these Templar.
All right. Tara, why don't we get the game going right now, and then maybe like the story will be revealed as we're talking, and we'll play two roles. I'll be the person who hasn't played it, and then Dave will be the one who has played, and you'll be the one who made it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I think that's a good assignment of the role.
Every possible viewpoint of this game.
And I'll be like from the scrub guy who doesn't know anything, and I'll ask all the weird questions. You guys will clue it in.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm gonna play again. Perfect. I don't know if the stream can see that too. With that, okay, he'll switch when it loads. So, with that case, so you chose Protoss. Why couldn't it be a story about the Zerg?
It's not as relatable, I guess, is the
Zerg aren't people.
Yeah, Zerg aren't people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case,
it does kind of follow that trope, though. Like you mentioned, it's harder to make old school RPG style when everyone has like a gun.
Yeah, and
like there's something about that
true.
That's not as good. Like there's something about a sword and armor and stuff like that is more RPG-ish.
Equipment is a big part of those old RPGs, and Zerg don't really equip stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, but this has been bugging me though. Is this game inspired by like Final Fantasy Tactics, like the battle mode?
Not directly. It was almost just like completely turn-based and no positioning, and it would have made my job a lot easier had it been like that. But I was like, no, this is a great 2D engine for stuff like this and positioning and AoEs and lining up shots and stuff like that. I played a lot of XCOM leading up to it.
Oh, XCOM. I was like, what other game is not Final Fantasy Tactics?
There's tons of tactics games, but I do like that. Like since you mentioned that movement thing, it's not grid-based movement.
Right.
It's actually free movement, which is really neat.
Yeah, it's better in the StarCraft engine because you can move. Like to make a grid would have been a lot more work. Technically, I did make one for enemy AI movement. But and Transistor, the game Transistor, made by Supergiant Games.
Yeah,
that's like that's an indie game.
Yeah,
really colorful and bright.
It has a similar control scheme to ARK quite a bit.
So here we are. We're on we're flying on the oh my god, what's the ship?
A carrier?
No, is that a carrier?
Yeah.
No, isn't the Spear of Odin?
Spear of Odin?
No. You were just in a carrier.
A single carrier.
Yeah, we're not dealing with lore anymore. This is just one little story in a big universe.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So you gave, our character's name is High Twitch. Legit. So you gave them all names and everything. Where did you come up with all the names? Is there any good story about how you came up with one of the names?
No.
Did you just use a random word generator?
I tried to vaguely keep it with some of the
Protoss God sounding, maybe.
That's not true. Okay, actually, I went on a Tinder date with a girl named Farron.
Really?
Nice. It was spelled way differently, and I was like, what should the Smith the techno character name be? And Farron, it's also like the word means something about iron. I don't know. It fit. And so.
Are you still dating her?
No. It was like 1 or 2. Anyway.
But it wasn't a good date, though. Because you named her.
It was a useful name. That's all I got to say.
So how does the StarCraft engine lend to like making mods? Because I'll be honest, I didn't even know it was this powerful. This is actually more powerful than I thought. But like, is it amenable to being manipulated like this?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you want to make. This game is basically, I tried to use all of the strengths of the engine and not try to fight against it. If you wanted to try to make like any sort of precision-based like shooter, even like
first-person shooter,
which is pretty realistically impossible. I mean, you can kind of fake it, but it won't be good. It won't feel good. Or any kind of like platforming. Basically, anything that requires like height doesn't work so great in the engine.
Yeah, you're sticking with the basic view of this, but just zoomed in, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
The camera's also been tweaked a lot to make it look isometric.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that something that was easy to do, or like did you spend hours figuring that out? You sounded pretty proud when you said that.
Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time tweaking camera settings so it like looked and felt right.
Like, have you made other mods for other games?
I've like dabbled with Minecraft mods back in the day. Not really. I mean, I did a little bit of Warcraft 3 modding, and now I'm kind of moving into Unity because it's a big useful engine.
Like,
yeah,
but that's not modding
ask that.
anymore.
What's the difference between doing something like this where you're in the setting of another game versus Unity where you can do like whatever?
Right.
Like what's the difference as a designer?
As someone that doesn't make art and doesn't have money to pay for art.
Yeah.
Being able to do something in the StarCraft engine using StarCraft characters, using the StarCraft IP was really, really appealing to me. It probably would have taken me the same amount of time to learn Unity and build Unity, like a Unity game. But launching on Steam is also terrifying as an unknown dev.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Marketing, it's like...
Wait, did we die?
Yeah, Tara died.
That's just, Taryn, that was your second try.
How did that happen? Tara, what's going on? Come on.
Poor tactics.
To be fair, a lot of people die.
No special tactics.
On this level.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, you just got to listen to what the guys do. But nobody reads.
So just click Bastion. Like, does he give you like helpful hints?
Yes.
Okay, but I wasn't even paying attention to how did he die? Like, this doesn't look like.
The range unit was kiting him, I think.
Oh, he's still kiting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta kill the melee unit while hiding from the range unit. The whole point of this fight is to teach you to use cover. Yeah.
Okay,
but the rest of the game doesn't really use cover, so it's not a great little lesson.
Oh.
It just frustrates.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
He still might die.
He might. I have faith in him that he will die.
This is gonna.
Does the shields recharge? Oh!
No dice.
I should make this like a little bit easier.
No, okay. I'm a big fan of making games like super hard and like making people figure.
Yeah, especially when it's like a shorter experience anyway.
Yeah.
You want to kind of have some.
That's fair
to it, but yeah. And I think I think Tara's just exceptionally bad.
It's possible.
I think that's because I don't remember dying to this.
Did you die to this?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, Tara.
Because it seems, I don't know, Tara seems to be adopting the strategy of just running away.
Which does actually work.
Yeah.
In this fight.
It's, as long as he blocks that, then he's good.
See, there you go.
Yeah, you have to attack back at some point.
Oh, okay. He has enough life now. But this is gonna.
See?
Okay. Oh, okay. This time he definitely has enough life.
Beta man.
So did that unit use up all its move capability before? Oh no, it can shoot while moving.
It has a special ability that lets it shoot while moving, but there's a cooldown. on that. There we go. We've done it. We beat the third level. Or the second level.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So wait. Could that have been made easy? I feel like Terra didn't use all his moves available to him.
It could have been. What I think I'm going to change is make it so the first enemy, when it dies, always drops a healing power up. That would make the fight a little bit easier if you realize what the correct thing to do is.
Okay, so I watched a little bit of Extra Credits, and that doesn't make me by any minute like a game designer at all.
Sure.
I think
it's a good start.
Well.
Is he the guy from Extra Credit?
Pretty sure.
I think one of them. I think James is.
Yeah, James.
Yeah, one of them is. But anyway, like they teach a lot of like, I guess how to. For those who don't know, Extra Credits a YouTube channel that's dedicated to like teaching people how to make better games if you're a developer. So, do you go through a lot of those things, like trying to figure out how to make sure there's not like choice paralysis, or that the player has like a progression arc? Like, what was sort of your I want to say frame or mindset when you were designing it?
I definitely had some kind of higher level design goals that I might not have delivered as much as I originally wanted to. I mean, especially because when you're basically developing an entire game yourself, especially when you're on a timeline.
Oh, there was a deadline?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Who set that deadline?
Well, a little bit of me and a little bit of Blizzard.
I just imagine like Blizzard like, so how's the game going? You got something for us to play?
There was also a lot of that, and it's also really hard to like estimate how long it takes to make something.
Right.
I think originally I thought this would be done. I started in April, and originally I thought it'd be done in like September. This was not the case.
When you design, like so we saw an example of a first fight. When you approach these, do you generally have a way in mind of like the player should beat it by doing this and this, or like how are you calibrating it to both like what the player's level might be at the time, what their equipment might be, the choices they make in terms of the skills and so on? Is that hard to design around? Like that there's a correct way versus being several ways that you can do it?
A little bit. It's really a matter of just like playing it 500 times and making sure that it works. And getting people to play test it and say, hey, okay, I did the spell build and I always lose this fight. I'm very frustrated. And then I can be like, oh, okay, I can change that. Did
players ever, like bouncing off of that, did players ever like surprise you in a way